every year as this crisis became worse and worse, people thought it's over, but it wasn't, because governments, as poor President Obama has covered himself with a raft of fools, are enacting the same laws that Roosevelt. History is repeating itself in some frightening ways right now. They're doing exactly what they did. I haven't got time to show you timeline of the Great Depression. I've got all these bullet points. I'm going, yes, yes, yes. And so, you know, the reality is in 1933, Roosevelt confiscated the people's gold. He took every bit of gold off everybody, and then a period of time later, he released it back out at twice the value. But you weren't actually allowed to own it anymore. Americans weren't actually allowed to own gold. So not only did he confiscate it off the people, he then revalued it and said, you can't have it. You've got to take this dollar note. Then still were backed by gold, but you couldn't swap it. And then you slowly, foreigners could swap it, and then you get back into the crisis when de Gaulle of France, who was supplying America lots and lots of goods, eventually said, there's far too many of those in relationship in the world to these. And foreigners were allowed to redeem their paper for gold, and they said to America, that were fighting a major war in Vietnam and spending all the precious money they had, we want gold. And Nixon knew that Fort Knox and the Federal Reserve was going to get cleaned out, so he said, that's it, bang, we're not swapping any more gold for paper. Sorry, we're not allowing anybody to claim, you must take paper. And so he took America off the gold standard. And that, I showed you that line before, how they used to balance the budget, and then they just went down like a rocket ship. And here we are, we're printing an extra $1 trillion here, you know, TARP or TAF, and they've got all these fancy words. They're going to print, I mean, Obama's gone to Congress for $1 trillion, he'll be back asking for $1 trillion before the end of the year. You know that? Another $1 trillion. They're just going to print, and this is the world's reserve currency. Now, I knew this at the time. I absolutely was aware of it. I went to the bank, I took out over of $20 notes, because I knew that if they the entire banking system, and the congressman testified that the plastic cards system was less than 24 hours completely seizing. And so the world has unison. That day was averted only by all the central banks working together to guarantee all the money that was held. Stop a bank run. They put big limits on the amount of money to stop fear coming in, so that, because within one few hour period in America on that morning, 500 billion disappeared out of the money market system. They reckoned by the following day it was going to quickly escalate to 5 trillion. The American system would have crashed. The world system would have crashed. But in history, banking crashes were quite regular. And people lost all their money. This is quite regular. We just live in this sort of world where we've never really seen it. We have no comprehension. Everybody that is an older age has sort of either passed away or we don't listen to them anymore. So their opinion is not respected. There's no wisdom collectively passed down. And what is passed down is rushed, because the brand new differently. You're a bunch of idiots back then. No wonder. Yet we end up repeating the same thing over again. And so I guess my point, in answer to your question, quite simply, the world's still got a date with destiny in the world banking system. Nothing has been fixed, nothing's been solved. Nothing. Which makes gold ever more important.
So, you're using silver, like we used to.
Silver, that is right. That is
and actually gold as well.
Gold as well.
My grandparents were like
yes.
Gold sovereigns. And
yep.
That's
right. It was a store of value.
All the coins were either silver and but then in those days gold.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
so if we get back to that, would it rectify anything?
Well, absolutely. For a start, coming to my first point, we aren't printing these things. You can't print them. You have to go into the ground and dig it out. And therefore, when a country wants to revalue the gold, you know, back in 1933. Roosevelt, after the crash of 29, Hoover was in power. They'd gone through just year after year. I mean, we're 6 months into this. People don't seem to realise the Great Depression, which we've already blown all records out of the water with, just rolled from one catastrophe to another. And every time there was this little up, like you're watching right now in the share market, there's what they call a bear market recovery happening right now. To be a business, builder. I forget the actual name. You may be more familiar with the full colleague. And for that, you would pay the full fee, which gives you your own site. Effectively, you get your gold coin every month, and you can invite people to come under your line. You don't it's not like you get delivered a pile of Tupperware containers that you hold in your garage, having to have a vault or anything. The gold just gets sent direct to the people, and you just get credited with a commission.
But I think to keep it from the economic side of things and just keep it very simple. At the end of the day, Joseph Wealth really is a business, and it's not a complex business. It just revolves around basically, hey, save a gold coin every month, and you can earn some money by inviting other people to save a gold coin every month. And here's the link on the website to go and have a look at. That is always a pretty simple message. That's a pretty simple message. And then periodically we can have these kind of get-togethers where you invite a whole lot of people and you have a great big chat about gold and you get all inspired. But at the end of the day, it's still a very simple business. It allows people to be involved in the gold industry.